The movie opens in a romantic setting, where we see a couple named Patrick and Adeline. Unbeknownst to them, someone is seen lurking in the distance. Patrick then surprises his girlfriend by slipping a ring into her strawberry and proposing to her, so Adeline excitedly responds with a yes. But then, Patrick receives a call from his photographer, who claims that he couldn't capture the moment because of sun flares. He asks him to propose again, and an irritated Patrick yells at him to get it right this time. And then after the call. Meanwhile, Patrick proposes to Adeline again, which she accepts. He calls the photographer to check if he got the photos right, and Adeline snatches his phone to speak, but shockingly, someone pierces an arrow through Patrick's forehead, killing him instantly. Upon seeing this, Adeline screams in horror and runs away, being pursued by the killer. After some time, she manages to hide in a bush, but the killer calls her from her boyfriend's cell phone. This unfortunately gives away her location, and the killer strikes her with an arrow in the ankle. An injured Adeline limps away from there, and eventually reaches a winery. She soon meets a security guard and desperately begs for his help. But before the guard can do anything, the killer appears and throws a knife with a heart logo at him, ending his life. A horrified Adeline continues fleeing, and later hides inside a huge metal tank. Everything goes silent after a while, and she cautiously tries to look out. But the killer suddenly grabs her by the neck, so a desperate Adeline closes the door of the tank, forcing the man to let go. But unfortunately for her, the psycho killer activates the compression mechanism of the device, which tragically crushes Adeline and explodes her head. We then finally see the appearance of the killer, who is wearing a mask with little hard eyes. In the next scene, we see several news channels talking about a serial killer on the loose, whom they call the Heart Eyes Killer. It turns out that Heart Eyes specifically preys on loving couples, but he doesn't hesitate to kill anyone who crosses his path. Everyone is being warned to be extra cautious and stay at home, especially since today is Valentine's Day. Next, we meet a sitting at a coffee shop with her best friend, Monica. Ali is stressed because her boss has just called an emergency meeting in which she's supposed to show her ad campaign. Suddenly, while getting coffee, Ali comes across a charming guy, and it turns out they both ordered the same thing, and they blush over the coincidence. The two then begin chatting, right when Ali drops the sugar on the ground, and she accidentally hits the man, resulting in a bloody nose. This leaves her very embarrassed, and she quickly runs away from there. The scene then cuts to the meeting, where Ali's boss plays the Valentine's Day campaign Ali recently released. But the ad turns out to be very violent, and is receiving lots of hate and negative comments online. It is considered inappropriate, particularly because of the Heart Eyes Killer's ongoing murder spree. This enrages the boss, and to fix the disaster, she brings in a new employee named Jay Simmons. To Ali's surprise, he turns out to be the same guy she met at the coffee shop earlier. Jay is quite successful in his field, and assures everyone that they will work together to clean up the mess. Following this, we are taken to the winery, where two detectives, Zeke and Janine, arrive to investigate the murders of Patrick and Adeline. They inspect the crime scene, and find a wedding ring marked with the initials JS, which doesn't match either of the deceased. The detectives also discover the photographer's final picture, which depicts the masked killer attacking. Later, Ali is in her office bathroom, reading negative comments on her Instagram post about her latest ad. Just then, Jay arrives outside the stall and says he needs to talk to her. Ali reluctantly comes out, and he tells her that he has booked a dinner tonight to discuss the ad campaign. She tries to refuse because it's Valentine's Day, and suggests they do it tomorrow. However, Jay claims he has a flight in the morning to attend his best friend's wedding, so it must be tonight. In the evening, Ali gets ready beautifully, and arrives first at the restaurant. Jay soon shows up, looking very handsome, which impresses Ali. The two then begin chatting, and he suddenly asks if her heart was recently broken, which is reflected in her campaigns. The question offends Ali, and she urges him to mind his own business. When that's not enough, she begins insulting him, and asks why he's still single if he's so romantic. Upset by her rude words, Jay abruptly ends the dinner, and walks out of the restaurant. Ali feels very guilty, so she immediately chases after him and apologizes. She claims she just had a bad day, and then suddenly begins kissing Jay. But their moment is interrupted by a man who turns out to be Ali's ex. He is here with his new girlfriend to celebrate Valentine's dinner. Ali then unexpectedly introduces Jay as her new boyfriend, and he also plays along. Her ex is shocked and reveals that they were supposed to go on a double date with another couple who were tragically murdered at the winery. Soon after, Ali and Jay get into the same taxi and drive away, unaware that someone is watching them in a hard eyes mask. They soon reach her address, and she apologizes to Jay for tonight before stepping out. But when Ali reaches her building, she checks her bag and realizes that she has lost her keys. Jay notices this, so he asks the driver to keep the meter running and goes after her. He then helps Ali by breaking her window, but also gets wounded in the process. Once inside, Ali grabs a first aid kit and begins treating his wounds carefully. During this, she notices her personal item on the bed and sneakily tries to put it away in the closet. But then all of a sudden, the Hard Eyes killer immediately attacks and gets into a fight with Jay. The killer corners him against the wall, right when Ali hits him with a lamp. While the killer is dizzy, the two seize the opportunity to run outside and secure the door with a belt. The two then run toward the taxi earlier, but Hard Eyes shoots the driver in the head. Ali tries to convince the killer that he's got the wrong people and they are not a couple. Jay tries to call 911, but the killer shoots his cell phone with an arrow. Next, the two run into an abandoned botanical garden, but the killer catches up with Ali and attacks her. Jay intervenes, but the killer gains the upper hand and knocks Jay unconscious. Ali seizes this opportunity to flee, so Hard Eyes abandons Jay and begins to pursue her. Later, Ali reaches an amusement park and hides in a carousel. Suddenly, the killer starts the carousel and he increases the carousel's speed, causing Ali to fall. She manages to stand up, but he approaches her with a machete and attempts to kill her. However, Ali gives him a powerful kick and knocks him off the carousel. She also gets off and tries to flee, and just when the killer is about to strike her, several police cars show up, causing Hard Eyes to mysteriously disappear. After this, Ali frantically informs an officer about what happened and becomes worried about Jay. But the officer receives a message on her radio announcing that the murderer has been caught. Later, Ali is approached by detectives Zeke and Janine, who ask her to explain what happened. But Ali suddenly notices that Jay has been arrested, which leaves her in utter shock. She informs the officers that Jay is not Hard Eyes, but Zeke claims he's a suspect, since they found him wearing a mask with a crossbow in his possession. To make matters worse, Janine informs her that they believe he was not acting alone, making even Ali a suspect. At the police station, Zeke shows Jay the wedding ring they found at the vineyard. It contains the initials JS, which suspiciously match Jay Simmons. But he denies having anything to do with it, which causes Zeke to become increasingly aggressive. Janine tells her partner to leave so she can continue the interrogation. However, she begins flirting with Jay and inquires about his relationship with Ali, as he seems to care about her. Meanwhile, Ali is at the station and informs an officer that they have caught the wrong person. She keeps asking for an update, so the officer gets annoyed and heads to the interrogation room. Ali is then approached by David, an IT guy who has come to repair a computer. He says she seems familiar and asks if they matched on Bumble, but Ali denies it. David seems interested in her and asks her out, but she firmly refuses him. Afterward, Janine arrives outside with another officer, and they meet Ali. Janine then begins interrogating her, asking if she's interested in Jay since he's attractive and successful. All of a sudden, the lights go out in the station, and everything becomes dark. Janine decides to investigate, while the other officer heads to the supply room to look for a flashlight. But then she is pierced from behind by Hard Eyes with a flagpole, while Ali watches in horror. Following this, Ali runs toward the hallway and informs Janine about Hard Eyes, leaving Janine to deal with him and flees. Meanwhile, Zeke also hears the commotion outside, so he heads out. He calls for Janine, but receives no response. In the end, Hard Eyes appears and immediately stabs him with his machete, ending his life. Ali, on the other hand, arrives outside the interrogation room and notices Jay trapped inside. He urges her to find Zeke and get the handcuff keys so she can release him. To his horror, after Ali leaves, Hard Eyes enters the interrogation room. He swings the machete at Jay multiple times, but the latter skillfully dodges each attack. Just then, Ali returns with a gun and fires several shots at him, forcing him to flee. She rushes to Jay and finally manages to release him from his handcuffs. Following this, the two finally leave the police station and arrive at a drive-in theater where several couples are watching a movie. Some people soon notice Hard Eyes there and think it's just a costume. He then proceeds to kill a random guy in his path for no apparent reason. Seeing him, Ali and Jay hide inside a car, where a couple is having fun in the back seat. The duo tries to warn them about the danger, but the couple is too high to understand what's happening. And then suddenly, Hard Eyes abruptly opens the back door and forces a large cross into Man's mouth. He grabs the girl and impales her onto the same crossbar, eliminating her as well. This brings chaos in the theater, and Ali and Jay also run away from there, while the killer chases after them. The killer also slaughters anyone who comes in his way. Jay suggests to Ali that they should run away, but she feels guilty as they were the ones who led the killer here. She therefore suggests that they should finish him off before he can commit more murders. Next, they grab the killer's attention, prompting him to come after them. The two then steal some weapons from the dead bodies and prepare to confront Hard Eyes. Soon enough, the killer tries to strike them with his machete, but Jay tries his best to fight back. Unfortunately, Hard Eyes easily gains the upper hand and is about to finish him off, but Ali comes to the rescue and hits him over the head with a propane tank. The killer is injured, but still alive, so Jay finally ends his life by running him through with his own machete, causing him to finally collapse on the ground. Following this, the two take off the killer's mask, but neither of them recognizes him. The authorities soon arrive to pick up the body, and a cop informs the duo that they are going to be very famous for finally killing Hard Eyes. Afterward, Jay invites Ali to his hotel room before his flight, so they can finish their dinner date. But she still seems traumatized by the events of tonight and refuses. At this moment, they are approached by Janine, who seems to be interested in Jay. She offers to drive him home, which he readily accepts. Some time later, Ali is in her apartment, where she remembers her moments with Jay. She then receives a call from Monica, who is worried about her. Ali tells her about what happened, and also mentions that she ruined her chances with Jay. Upon hearing this, Monica advises her not to let such a good guy go, and urges her to pursue him. This finally convinces Ali to go after him, so she immediately heads to the airport. She looks for Jay everywhere, but he's nowhere to be seen. Soon, Ali receives a call from an unknown number, and the voice on the other end tells her that Jay is in his possession and gives her an address to a chapel. He demands Ali be there and threatens that if she dares to call the cops, Jay will die. Jay is also heard screaming in the background, which really frightens Ali. Not long after, Ali arrives at the chapel, where she discovers Jay gagged with his hands and feet tied. Hard Eyes turns out to be still alive. And when he takes off his mask, Ali is shocked to see that it is David, the IT guy she met earlier. She asks who the killer they murdered at the drive-in, and David tells her it was someone named Eli. Ali then asks if they were a couple, and David answers that they are actually a throuple. In a shocking twist, Janine shows up, and it is revealed that she is also one of the Hard Eyes, and the wife of David. It turns out they enjoy murdering couples in love, which is their kink. They reveal that they are the real Hard Eyes, while Eli was just a fanboy obsessed with him. It is also revealed that the Hard Eyes who invaded Ali's house was Janine, while the one who killed the driver was David. Janine explains that the wedding ring they found is actually hers, with the initials JS, standing for Janine Shaw. Upon hearing all of this, Ali is shocked and wonders why they are coming after them, considering they aren't even a couple. Janine responds that they actually wanted to kill another couple, but changed their minds when they saw Ali and Jay's passionate kiss. She then asks Ali to grab a gun from a nearby table to prove that she doesn't love Jay. To add, Janine explains that there is only one bullet, and Ali must choose between killing herself or killing Jay. With a heavy heart, Ali picks up the gun and tearfully tells Jay that, despite her resistance, she ended up falling for him. Jay pleads with her not to shoot herself, but at the last second, Ali shoots Jay near the shoulder, causing the bullet to hit Janine's shoulder. Ollie quickly grabs Jay, but they can't get far as a furious David begins shooting at them. He then drags Jay away, while Janine catches up with Ollie and starts torturing her. Seeing this, David taunts Jay, claiming he's going to make him watch as Ollie dies. But in a surprising move, Jay secretly picks up an arrow from David's pocket and stabs him in the eye. As David screams in agony, he falls onto a table of candles, causing the hot wax to burn him alive. This infuriates Janine, so she punches Ollie to the ground and proceeds to finish her off. But just then, Ollie stabs her in the windpipe with her metal straw, causing serious injury. She then violently pushes Janine into a statue, whose sword impales her through the neck. The psycho woman is hanging in pain, before the sword finally decapitates her head. Afterward, Ollie goes to check on Jay to make sure he is okay. But then, all of a sudden, here Jay finally manages to end the terror of Hard Eyes. The scene then cuts to a year later, where Ollie and Jay are now a couple. The couple celebrates their anniversary at the drive-in where they were once chased by Hard Eyes. To Jay's surprise, Ollie pulls out an engagement ring and unexpectedly proposes to him. Jay happily responds with a yes. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.